Greetings guys and welcome to a new episode of Fizzle's Film Reviews. Today I'm going to be talking about the brand new Steven Spielberg movie Ready Player One, which is more like Ready Player Dumb, am I right? But anyways, this film is based off of a book that was written a while back. I haven't read this book, I don't read all too many books, but I heard the book was pretty good, and I've heard it's a lot better than the movie.
What was it that made you want to do this movie?
Well, the thing that I really wanted to make sure of, if you've never played a video game in your entire life, you would really still love what this picture's about.
Check me out.
What do we have here?
Usually is the case with adaptations in general, except for the movie adaptation. Kind of ironic how that is. I saw the trailer and I was like, wow, Spielberg has really hit rock bottom, hasn't he?
Good stories keep me inspired.
These days, reality is a bummer. Everyone's looking for a way to escape. A place called the Oasis. Today is gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now.
And this is following The Post, which was a really overrated movie that I didn't like so much. Biopic, completely different type of movie to this one. But this one isn't much of an improvement. I'd say it is better than The Post, just because it's more entertaining, but that's not really saying much. This movie uses its pop culture references like a crutch. It isn't really charming, they're just shoved in there constantly. And one thing I do actually give a bit of leniency for is that the book, apparently a lot of the references were to authors and novels and stuff like that. This movie is mostly references to movies and a bit of video games as well, but mostly movies. In fact, they changed a lot of the plot to be movie-centric instead of like book-centric, essentially. But it makes sense because you're dealing with a different medium, you're dealing with a different audience. It's trying to appeal to moviegoers. But the execution, I felt, was so overt and in your face that I almost find it comparable to the Emoji Movie with how blatant it is with its references.
Should I go more thriller?
No.
Punk?
No.
Duran Duran?
No. Buckaroo Banzai?
Yeah.
No.
And it just felt like product placement, essentially. Like, oh look, merchandise that you can buy. And I wouldn't be surprised if most of this movie's budget was just licensing the rights to a lot of these characters. There's Halo, there's Borderlands, Overwatch. Basically anything you can think of that's been relevant in the past few years, or the past 20 years even.
Buckaroo Banzai? I like it. I like Buckaroo Banzai.
Is in this movie. There's like dozens and dozens of references, if not more. Heck, there might even be hundreds of references for all I know. Because it's like every second there's something new on the screen where you're supposed to point at that and go, oh, I remember that thing. And even the original characters and stuff like that, like the main bad guy, he just looks like an evil Superman, kind of. He looks like a cross between like Superman and Archer.
You want breakfast? Try the diner. You're obviously into Greek.
And like that medic guy from Team Fortress, if I'm gonna be weird about this. And then there's this other evil guy with the skull body thing who looks like that character from Smite. And of course you got your generic Final Fantasy main character guy and his epic wild style knockoff sidekick, essentially.
Damn, I love that bike.
And it just feels like a lamer Lego movie. Like it's trying to copy what the Lego movie did, but the Lego movie was an animated film, and it was like a lot more poignant. It was executed a lot more tastefully. It feels like you got the most cookie cutter plot imaginable about a dystopian future where the world sucks. It's basically Mad Max, except everyone's lazy. Like it's half Mad Max, half WALL-E. The world's really dumpy, and people would rather live in a virtual reality. And I bet you can already guess where the plot's gonna go by the very end of the movie. The big twist ending. Romance apparently was added into this. I know there was a controversy with the book's ending being basically like, oh, the grand prize is you get this hot chick. But they added in this romance right from like the start of the movie. And it's really cheesy how he just like immediately falls in love, and she's kind of into him but not really, and then they just fall in love at the end, and it's just like really basic, and the movie feels like it's got ADHD. Like it can't slow down and develop anything, it's constantly moving. He's got this loser aunt who's basically dating trailer trash.
Couldn't have beat them in a boot suit, you noob.
And her terrible boyfriend have about 5 minutes of screen time, and the bad guy accidentally kills them instead of killing our main hero. And our main hero doesn't even like have any sort of emotion about it whatsoever. Like it's just boom, on to the next scene. And then by the time you get to the end of the movie, like spoiler alert, of course, but you get to the end of the movie, oh, this guy who created this virtual reality thing, he's like a hologram inside his world or whatever. They have to do these challenges, these Easter eggs that he left in the game. And apparently at the end, you get to have like a conversation with him essentially. And somehow he's dead, but he's not considered an avatar, so it's implied that he exists like within this simulation somehow.
You're not an avatar, are you?
No.
Is Halliday really dead?
Yes.
Apparently they added that to the movie to make it be like, ooh, what a thinker, sort of thing. The main character cries. The main character sheds a tear in awe of seeing this guy. And it's like, you didn't cry when your aunt died. Your parents were dead a long time ago, and you've been being taken care of by this aunt who got only 5 minutes of screen time and is killed. And I guess my explanation for this is because they knew the audience wouldn't care about the aunt, because they only gave her 5 minutes of screen time. So it wouldn't hit, it wouldn't resonate to have that emotional scene earlier when it would make logical sense, because they didn't give you that development. You know, that's my only way to excuse that, and it's a bad excuse, because just give the aunt more time to develop as a character. Give the main character more time to develop, have them interacting with each other more, and in a more human way that the audience can sympathize with, because it's just generic trailer trash, awful home environment, and the main character wants to escape, and that's about it. That's as deep as the rabbit hole goes. And honestly, the movie doesn't take much longer to explain that either. Basically no atmosphere, because it's constantly go, 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 and it's constantly references, so it feels like there's nothing really there. You've got a wireframe of a story with a bunch of stuff pulled from pop culture to keep it all together. And it was too much. Who plays a racing game and doesn't ever attempt to drive backwards at some point? It's so stupid. Bizarre how this movie tried to go for an emotional message by the end of it.
The best reality is the real world. It's not the virtual world,
Well,
right?
it's what I believe in. You cannot substitute being in love and being in life with your friends and your family.
The third thing we did wasn't as popular. We closed the Oasis on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I know it sounds like a weird move, but people need to spend more time in the real world.
Their motivations weren't all that strong. I'm sure they were in the book, but the movie, it put them on the side and just said, look at the Iron Giant, isn't that cool? Look, Gundam showed up for a few seconds. Isn't that interesting? Don't you remember Gundam? And it's funny because I don't think a lot of kids will remember these characters and stuff. So who's the movie even for? It's probably for people my age. And I saw it with my buddy Jake. He said it was really awesome. He really liked the special effects. And I'm just so desensitized to special effects because we've got really good special effects nowadays. And that's sort of just a given. So, I don't know. If you like this movie, that's fine. I know a lot of people love this movie. It's got really good ratings on IMDb. It's critically rated well too. Certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. At this point, I don't want to be that guy, but it feels like Spielberg fanboyism because his past two movies I thought were garbage. And it's just nostalgia as well because it's hard to suppress that feeling of, oh, that's cool to see the Iron Giant on the big screen again. And I get that. I mean, I'm basically cold and dead inside from seeing this being abused in so much media now. But I get why people cling on to that nostalgia. But it doesn't make this movie good. In fact, for me, it does the exact opposite and makes the movie seem desperate. And the actors weren't very good either. Like, the kids in Stranger Things are much better. It had much better acting with younger child actors than this movie did. This movie came off as like Twilight to me anyways. It might not have been that bad, but it was like on par with that. Like the generic young adult book turned into a movie sort of vibe. It did have a 90s silly sort of vibe, and that was kind of okay. I kind of was okay with that because it's trying to go for like this sort of past, like the 80s and 90s and stuff with all its pop culture references. But it just didn't hit. It confused me because it seemed like it tried to sprinkle in some serious drama bits in there without making it dark, and that doesn't really work. And then it would just be discount Guardians of the Galaxy anyways. And also, it's set in the future. Why is there no original content in the future? Why is everyone clinging on to 80s and 90s characters and stuff like that? I don't get it. They would come up with new stuff in the future. Why is everyone still listening to 80s rock music? I mean, I'd still be. And I'd still be clinging on to these characters. But 90% of people would be going on to like 2030s characters that don't even exist for another 10 years. But I guess it's not a movie that wants you to do that. And it's just not a movie for me. So that's that, guys. I hope you enjoyed this rant about Ready Player Dumb. And I hope you enjoy the movie. Maybe I'll read the book and I'll review the book sometime or something rather. But as for right now, I think that's it for this. Funny thing, I have my buddy here who has actually read the book Ready Player One and seen the movie as well.
Yeah.
so we can get a bit of insight here. Would you say the movie was like stupid in comparison to the book?
In my opinion, if you've never read the book but still wanted to see the movie, it's fantastic. The visuals, the story's pretty okay. It's just a general movie to have in like your closet or something if you've never read the book. But when it comes to comparing it to the book, they did not do anything similar. Like they just like completely went off on their own. Like, all right, how many references can we shove it up this ass? Like, that's literally all it is, just reference galore.
I heard they changed a lot of the story elements as well. Like,
they changed way too much. Like, for example, you know I forget his name already, the taller Chinese man?
I forgot his name too.
I forget his name too.
Saito?
He fucking dies in the book.
Oh.
The company breaks into his apartment as he's playing with the smaller Chinese child and fucking throw him out the window and made it seem like he's suicide. Like fucking killed himself. He fucking dies in the book.
That sounds way more interesting.
It does! Yeah! And then the fucking movie, they're just like...
Yeah, the movie gave me like this 90s like silly action movie vibe where it's all like super lighthearted.
Like that was kind of the point, like just to like give like full-blown 80s and 90s nostalgic.
It was, yeah.
But when it comes to like comparing it to the book, no! It fucking changed so much. Like all the kids didn't even meet up until the end of the movie. They all like just stayed on the world until the end. While in the fucking movie, in the middle of the movie, they just all meet up out of nowhere. It's like, bitch, what? Like at first, when I read the movie, or not read the movie, when I saw the movie, I'm like, wow, this movie is good. Visually, it's pretty good. Story, I can get by it. And then I read the book like a week later, like, huh?
You see, I think the thing is, and I didn't like the movie, and I haven't read the book either, but I
don't like the book, by the way. It's a good book.
Okay, I'm in the minority. I'm in the minority on that as well, where like everyone loves this movie. It seems like it's got like an 8 out of 10 on IMDb. Critics love it as well.
Like, they did well on the visuals. Like, there's no going around it. On all the references, all the visuals, they did good on that. They just did good. But when it comes to like trying to like compare it to the book story-wise, no, that's like a 2 out of 10. They kept all the characters. They kept all like the base story. Like it's very watered down of what the book has.
Yeah, I felt like the story was so bad that it was just like, I don't really like this movie all in all, because I'm more of a story guy and more of a character guy, and the characters weren't all that likable in this movie either.
In my opinion, they were good. Like for the movie, they were good. Also, can I just fucking point out, not even 10 minutes into the fucking movie, there's Minecraft already. Like a fucking Minecraft world.
Yeah.
Can I just get that out now?
I actually burst... I burst out laughing when Tracer made an appearance.
3 fucking times! I'm sorry for getting loud. 3 times! 3 or 4 times! Like, the beginning where, like, they're introducing the main character and, like, everybody's, like, spawning in. Second time, on the world where you can purchase stuff. And then the third time was the fight. Like, how the fuck do you manage to do that?
Battletoads
were added, like, Nintendo, Sega. What? Tracer! Like, fucking... God damn.
Do you think it's about time we put in pre-orders for the new Battletoads game for the Nintendo Switch? Do you think that's what this movie's
God, you don't
getting
know
at?
how much I creamed when I saw those Battletoads. I'm so glad they added that though, at least. Like, holy shit, Battletoads was my shit when I was younger. I'm glad they did that. Like, there's a few things that they added in that I just had to say, please, yes, more.
But they had like hundreds of references, so they were bound to get people with like, oh, I remember that thing. So
well, that's the point, like, because the book was just pure 80s and 90s. The movies is just pure 80s and 90s. Just the way that he did it was differently.
Yeah, it's like different references as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, the book had references from like actual 80s and 90s, while the movie has some, but also from like games from like our times and all that, like Overwatch. Fucking disgusts me. He also apparently Ruby was in it. That fucking shitty ass Rooster Teeth animation. But I didn't see Ruby anywhere. But I was told when I was watching it with my friends, like, oh yeah, Ruby's was supposed to be somewhere's in it. Did you see it? No.
No. Yeah, I never got into Ruby, but
neither have I. It's shitty.
It felt like they were just throwing everything at the wall and seeing what would stick.
Yeah, like pretty much. Just like, hey, fucking, I'm at a brain fart here. I'm trying to remember what else was in there. Fuck it. Battletoads! Does it stick on the wall? Yeah, sure! Sorry if I'm getting loud too, dude. Like, when I rant and shit, like, I get loud. So.
But then they had random stuff like Buckaroo Banzai. It's like, who remembers Buckaroo Banzai?
People who remembers Buckaroo song.
I think that was thrown in there for the hipsters.
Yeah.
But, I don't know, it bugged me like the same way the Emoji Movie bugged me, because it was always references.
We don't mention that disgrace in this fucking universe.
We don't. Why weren't there emojis?
I had to watch that movie with my mom and little sister, dude. I wanted to kill myself the first minute I saw like that fucking screen pop up, dude. Like,
I will say, the Emoji Movie's probably the worst movie I've ever seen.
No going around. The fucking worst movie, dude. In the goddamn universe.
I saw it on opening night and then did a same day review, and from me, that's like unheard of.
You did a review? Knew. Oh my god, I didn't.
Yeah, whereas just like
bless your soul, dude.
this movie's so bad, I have to do a review in a timely manner for once.
Oh my lord, dude.
Yeah, but people love Ready Player One, but I was just like, there's barely any plot here. It's so cookie cutter, so like run of the mill, and it feels like it's using its references as like a crutch rather than.
Yeah, it's pretty much just, I want to make a movie. Yeah, sure. What about the book Ready Player One? Alright, yeah, it has a good story. Maybe long, but we could do something out of it. I just want to put reference in it. Why? Fuck off!
And
I want to fucking shoot my dick off.
I don't value special effects as much as I used to in the past. I guess I'm like desensitized to them because technology's gotten to the point where basically every movie just looks good, but most of them
like crutching on visual effects and everything.
Yeah, and it's like the story should be the cheap part. That should be the part that doesn't take much resources to come up with a gripping story. But they're just like, no, let's throw in $100 million and then hopefully it pays for itself and we don't have to think of a gripping story. Which is funny because it's based off of a book that already had those elements in that you're saying they removed.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense. And it's not like that's too dark. I mean, The Dark Knight was pretty darn brutal for a PG-13 movie.
Oh my lord, yeah. I haven't seen that movie in years, actually. And now remembering it, holy shit, yeah, it was pretty fucking dark.
But yeah, I guess we're about the same level in terms of how we consider this movie. It's just that like after reading the book, it kind of put it into perspective for you.
Yeah, because my friends and I saw it opening day, like you did with fucking Emoji Movie, which again, God bless your soul. But we watched the movie opening day. It was like the fucking AMC wasn't even open. Like we got there like that fucking early, dude. Like,
jeez.
It was what, 4 of us. Me and one friend haven't read the book, while the other 2 did. So the other 2 was just like, all right, let's see how shitty this movie is. And me and my friend was like, it looks pretty good. Let's give it a try. And fucking we all come out, and me and my friend were like, hey, it's pretty good. Visually, yeah, story, meh, but still pretty good. And my other 2 friends were like, the fuck? Like, the minute we fucking walked out of the movie theater, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, that they yelled it out. It was fucking hilarious, dude. They fucking they were ranting on like how I am about how much different the book was compared to the movie. Like the fucking another example is the Iron Giant. The Iron Giant made a reference into the book as well, but it wasn't as big. Like the scene where they just start fucking having a fucking war, World War III, goddamn.
Yeah.
The fucking Iron Giant appears like in the book. How did I don't remember too much. It the Iron Giant is called in and starts beating up shit. That's it. The fucking Iron Giant in the movie is done so much more than it should have.
You see, they gotta get that nostalgia.
It replaced another character. There was a character named something Marvel in the book.
Captain Marvel? I don't know.
I think it was Captain Marvel. Not for sure, but it was something Marvel. And in the book, in the movie, what the Iron Giant does, Marvel was supposed to do. They just completely kicked out Marvel, and it's just like, what the fuck?
They had to do it though for that Terminator 2 reference at the end.
No, they had to do it to him. Yeah, the fucking. I'll admit though, when I saw the Terminator reference, I creamed a little. Like, all right, yes, please. Okay, but I'm gonna say this now. The part that made me cream so fucking hard, besides the Battletoads, was the goddamn Gundam scene. Holy shit! Even though that guy was supposed to be dead at that moment, I call Gundam. And then he just fucking comes in.
That's why they kept him. That's probably why they kept him.
Yeah, my friend who read the book, who also loves Gundam so much more than I do. We just look at each other because I have a Gundam statue, 1 or 2 somewhere. He has a ton in his fucking room, and we just look at each other. We're just like, holy shit! But yeah.
See, I felt like the references were way too in your face, sort of. I liked Lego Movie. Lego Movie was a lot more charming for that. I felt
Lego Movie did well as well, dude.
Yeah.
They did good.
This felt like it was
it was shoved into your face. Some of them was performed well. Like the Gundam, even though they replaced Marvel, the Iron Giant was also pretty good. But when it comes to some of them, like the Tracer and the
Freddy Krueger as well. He appears for 2 seconds before he's immediately killed.
I remember. Yeah. Freddy Krueger, dude. Fucking goddamn. At least they.
I feel like it goes Lego Movie. That's right at the top in terms of quality. Then it goes Wreck-It Ralph, and then it goes Ready Player One.
Wreck-It Ralph.
Because I felt Wreck-It Ralph kind of didn't have the same charm. It was a bit too in your face, and then Ready Player One's just non-stop.
Yeah.
I don't think you could cram more references into a movie than Ready Player One managed.
Oh no, holy shit, dude. How they managed to do that, I don't fucking know, dude. That must have costed way too much.
That must have been most of the budget.
Pretty much, yeah.
Just licensing.
How much money can we put into this movie? About this much. How much can we put into references?
Yeah, that must have been the whole budget was just references and special effects, and that's why the story was just garbage. They ran out of money. Yeah, and even the actors, I've never seen these actors before. They probably just...
Yeah, the actors weren't bad, I won't lie. The fucking Chinese dude, the taller one, good. The kid also was pretty good.
I think it was mostly writing and directing that made it feel really cheesy.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe if this movie was made in the 90s, I would have loved it, and I would have had those nostalgia goggles.
If it was made in the 90s, it'd be so much better.
But nowadays, I'm just no, this movie isn't really clever enough to deserve the critical acclaim.
In my opinion, it deserves a 5 out of 5. It's not bad if you've never read the book, but if you have, it's just a fucking reference to war.
Did you say it deserves a perfect score?
Did I say 5 out of 5? I meant 5 out of 10.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I fucked up there.
5 out of 5.
Look, when I'm ranting, I don't think about too much about side stuff.
You,
my fucking dick.
You see, I'm a bit harsher. I think I gave it a 3 out of 10.
Jesus, dude.
Just cause like it didn't do much for me. It's just like, okay. And I knew it wasn't going to when I saw the trailer, because I was just like, oh, this is all it's gonna be, hey? And people
when I
were
saw
like,
the trailer,
it's
when I saw the trailer, I'm like, holy shit, not bad. And then I watched the movie, and then I go, hey, like I said, not bad. Read the book. Fuck!
Yeah, I saw the trailer and I was like, really? It's just gonna be a generic dystopian future. And, oh, virtual reality. I guess it makes sense that you have all these copyrighted characters, like that's what happens nowadays. But there's a few things I had gripes with, like it doesn't really make sense that it's so nostalgic when it's set in the future. You'd think there'd be a lot more original characters and stuff like that within that time frame. And it's all just stuff we've seen before. So, I don't know, I was just like, this trailer doesn't look good, and people hyped it up and they're like, the movie's amazing, and I saw it and I was like, yeah, that wasn't any better than I expected initially. It was exactly what I expected, actually. Which, if I'm gonna be honest, I'd rather recommend the Lego Movie and Guardians of the Galaxy instead of this movie.
Because those are actually good movies.
Because they're
the
like...
Lego Movie I fucking saw when I was younger. And I was just like, holy moly! I thought it was fucking like stop motion too. No, that shit was made like 3D software and shit. Like, that's impressive, dude.
It was.
And then I fucking... Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 made me fucking cream so hard. Like, I bought those movies on my fucking, in the fucking Windows store, dude. Like, I couldn't, like, resist. They were too good.
It bugs me, though. A lot of these, like, sci-fi type comedy movies, they all just feel like discount Guardians of the Galaxy now.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Like, that new Star Wars movie felt like discount Guardians of the Galaxy, honestly, as well.
I've not seen that movie, but I heard it was, like,
oh, man.
Shitty.
It's just... They'll have a really serious scene, and then they'll drop a one-liner. They'll try to drop a really inappropriate joke to, like...
What the fuck?
Change the mood. It's so stupid. They do that dozens of times throughout the movie. You'd have to see it to believe it, but it's hard to get over. But the special effects are pretty amazing in that one, but... Oh man. Yeah, I feel like movies are going that route where they're all style over substance now. And I prefer characters and story over special effects. I always have, honestly. I'm a bit of a nerd that way. Yeah, it's interesting to get the perspective from someone who's actually read the book. Because I've heard that. I heard that the book's way better and it makes a lot more sense. Because this movie had me scratching my head at moments. Like,
yeah, because like, you know how like once they got the key, the fucking gate would open and the goddamn wizard man would pop up, be like, haha, here's your second riddle, now go to the door, you fucking degenerate.
Yeah.
It was a fucking completely different process. They would get the key, and then they had to travel to the door.
Okay.
Doing another thing, and then open the door, and then rinse and repeat 3 times. 2 more times.
I feel like this movie was written by people who have never played video games.
They're just like, hey, what do people like nowadays? Video games and visual effects. Put that on my dick!
I feel like the video games took a backseat to movie references, because it was mostly like, oh hey look, The Shining and like all that jazz.
I did like The Shining reference.
I did. That was like my favorite.
Like the fucking filter they did too was spot fucking on. Like The Shining is also one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
And it's just like, when I saw that, I went to my forehead just like, Oh,
That was like the only part I enjoyed in the movie. Like, it's in the middle of the movie. Like the most important things are the intro and the outro. Like to get the beginning and the ending really good.
yeah.
But the middle's really good. And outside of that, it's just weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit. The emotional stuff doesn't work.
No, yeah.
Like they killed off his aunt and there's no emotion there. But then when he
yeah,
meets,
like what the fuck? It's just like
and he
she
cries when
fucking
he meets.
died.
He
She fucking dies. It's just like, oh.
he cries when he meets the guy who created the virtual, like the Oasis. But when his
Yeah.
aunt died, he got over it right away. It was so stupid.
He fucking like looks up like as the building explodes. He's like, huh? Like a minute later, back in the fucking like goddamn garage, shitty ass car thing. I'll admit though, that setup he had in the fucking cars, that was pretty litty. Like I'd kill for something like that, dude.
I felt like the movie had ADHD, where it like,
It jumped to one thing to another.
yeah, there was
Very
no.
quickly, like no like subtle movement.
It needed more atmosphere. But like, it's just like, here's our world, it's really shitty, let's go to the virtual world instead and jump from place to place every 5 minutes.
Okay, another part that was also pretty good was the motherfucking dance scene, dude.
I don't even remember. What?
You know the fucking dancing, dude.
Was that the one where she is like groping him and stuff?
Not in the crotch area, but yeah. Like the fucking Take On Me, I think was playing.
What?
Like a different version, like Take On Me, and they're all fucking dancing in the air, dude.
I thought it was some other like song from that period.
I think it was fucking Take On Me.
Oh, that.
Though it was like it was mostly just like the music, not the lyrics.
Okay, I have to look this up now.
I think it was fucking
Because I.
Player One. Take On. Yeah, it was fucking Take On Me, dude.
It was?
Yeah, like hold on, here's the fucking song.
Time to get a copyright claim. Oh. Yeah, that's. What the?
This is one of my favorite songs too, so like
What
hearing
the-
this remix was like, ah!
I didn't realize it was Take On Me. But it's.
Because it was mostly just the song. They didn't really add lyrics into it.
Oh, okay. Oh, I remember it, Blue Monday. As soon as I entered the club, just Blue Monday. Why are all the songs from the 80s? Oh, I can answer that, because music nowadays sucks and it just falls out of fashion 20 years in the future.
Finally, someone fucking agrees, dude. Dude, songs like fucking Come and Get Your Love, Hooked on a Feeling. Fuck yes, dude. Africa, dude.
I think this is another reason why I compare it to Guardians. Like, classic
Lordy,
soundtrack, yeah.
Yes, dude.
I was thinking it was going to be a serious movie, but it really wasn't. I think it was trying to be a lighthearted movie through and through. But yeah, I didn't really like it. I guess you said it's mediocre, but compared to the book, it's like awful.
Yeah, like again, if you've never read the book but seen the movie, it's good. It's decent. The story is decent. The visual effects are pretty good. The references too much, but still decent.
Maybe
But
I'm
when
just.
when you read the book, chop your dick off the moment you fucking watch it again. Like,
Maybe
holy
I'm
shit.
just getting old. Kids
Oh, man,
nowadays
look
are
at
like,
you.
this is good. This is amazing.
Then you read the
Gee,
book. What?
this sure
Gee, you like
beats
a cat, man.
this sure beats Truth or Dare.
That scary movie.
It's just good in comparison to the other movies at the time. Actually, I heard A Quiet Place is pretty good. We're probably gonna watch that this week. So
I don't know about that. I'm not too big on horror movies.
oh, okay.
At the same time, I like them, but it's just like, some of them are cheesy.
Yeah, I don't like jump scares, and gee,
I don't mind jump scares. I know when jump scares are coming, and that's also
they're
another reason why.
obvious, but I hate that it's a really loud noise every time. Honestly, the scariest movie for me would probably just be one with a bunch of balloons, and every few minutes or so, one of them pops.
Yeah.
That'd be like the biggest horror movie for me. Yeah. Is there really anything else to say about Ready Player One, though?
No, not really.
It's
just full and too much of references. Story is completely fucking different.
I feel like it's such a simple, like such a basic movie that you can't really break it down. Then again, I don't really like many movies nowadays. Why did I go to it? I don't really know. Just to say I gave it like a fair shot, and I still didn't like it. But I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen.
But it's just not the best.
Yeah, it was kind of dull in my opinion. And all the positives I've heard about it were like, whoa, the Iron Giant, man. We get to see the Iron Giant.
Like all of like the good reviews or all that are just basically about their references, not the story, not like the visual effects or anything. Well, sometimes visual effects, but
it's just fanboys and people with nostalgia.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now we gotta move on to some other fine movies down the line, like Truth or Dare.
I don't think I've seen that movie. Wait, hold on.
I heard it's garbage.
Oh wait, it hasn't came out yet. Oh fuck, I'm retired.
No, it came out, didn't it? We have it showing at our theater.
Oh shit, yeah. Alright, yeah, it's in my theaters too. I saw like the trailer for this movie a few times, so I was like, interesting. Girls and guys being forced to say truth or dare. That's fucking stupid, but I mean...
Yep. Most horror movies are nowadays. I mean, what were the ones that came out recently? There was that Flatliners reboot. Which is just, we give ourselves near-death experiences. And oh no, ghosts are after us now. That's literally the premise of that movie. And there's, what was that other one? There's like a whole bunch where the premise, there's one gimmick with the horror movie. I think that's every horror movie in general. Like there's Lights Out, which obviously, when the lights go out, the monsters can get you.
Yeah.
Don't Breathe, where the big baddie in that one's blind, so it's completely like audio based. I haven't seen either of those movies, but I don't know, I've heard mixed things about them. I feel like there's a really obvious one I'm missing that was really dumb. The Bye Bye Man, Don't Say It, Don't Think It.
That movie was so fucking bad.
I heard it's one of the worst movies ever made.
It is. It's just, you can predict everything.
But is it even worse than Suicide Squad?
We don't mention that here.
I love how people get so offended when you criticize Suicide Squad.
Like, it's not terrible, but there's so many things that could have been done better.
Honestly, I think the only good thing about it was Harley Quinn, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, Harley Quinn was pretty awesome in it, but everything else was just, DC, what are you doing? Wonder Woman.
Seriously, where the fuck's my Shazam movie? Like, holy shit.
Is
DC, get your ass on that, dude.
Is that the one with Shaquille O'Neal? Where he plays the genie? Shazam.
No, I'm talking about a movie for Shazam. The superhero who is a 10-year-old kid, but when he says the word Shazam, he becomes like a fucking adult.
I thought that was with Shaquille O'Neal.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Sinbad never played a genie, and Shazam doesn't exist. It's one of those, whatchamacallit, Mandela effects. Kazam was a movie where Shaquille O'Neal plays a genie, and I think people mixed up Shazam and Kazam. How
the fuck do you manage to do that? Because Shazam is a good fucking hero, dude. Like apparently there's supposed to be. At first I heard like there was supposed to be like a movie coming out in 2019 for Shazam, and I fucking creamed. And then I heard it was more so for fucking. Who the fuck is his name? Who the fuck is the villain? I'm so retarded. The villain for Shazam. Black Adam. Yeah, apparently it was supposed to be a movie based on Black Adam, and it pissed me off. Like, how the fuck would you do a movie on Black Adam? Shazam! Motherfucking Zam, dude.
I've actually never seen Shazam at all.
You've never seen Shazam, dude?
No.
Hold on, I'm about to fucking make your pants wet, dude. He was originally called Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then DC was like gonna fucking sue the creators of Captain Marvel because like he's too similar to Superman. But instead of like suing the company, they just bought him and then renamed him Shazam because when they bought him, Marvel was starting to get popular with their superhero Captain Marvel.
Oh, okay.
So they just renamed him Shazam.
That's funny. That's ironic that DC has Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Like they don't call him Captain Marvel anymore.
Okay.
It's mostly Shazam. Like, dude, holy shit. It's fucking Shazam. A kick-ass superhero, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. There's also the whole superhero fatigue with all these superhero movies nowadays. Especially DC.
Justice League was pretty good.
I thought it was awful.
In my opinion, it was good.
It was so, like, it was a lot better than, like, Man of Steel and Suicide Squad, but I still wouldn't say it was good. It felt too jarring. Like, you could tell that it had two different directors attached to it. And also there's the whole thing of, like, why didn't they do the Aquaman and the Flash movies first before doing Justice League?
Oh yeah, because they did fucking Batman, Wonder Woman.
And then there's the whole thing of the Justice League is worthless until Superman shows up and then they win.
Yep. Pretty much how it went.
Yep. Oh no, it didn't. Compared to Thor Ragnarok, I was very disappointed. You know what's funny is how they draw superheroes apparently, is they get like nude references. And then they just color clothes on top of them.
Holy fuck, that's fucking amazing, dude. Why don't I try that out, dude? I need to improve.
Then it looks like you're doing superhero characters. Yeah, it's funny. People were like super butthurt about Spider-Woman or whatever it was. Like saying, oh no, her poses are way too sexualized. Spider-Man would never be in this pose. And there was a cover where Spider-Man was in the exact same pose.
Yeah. I definitely know what you're fucking talking about, dude. I lost my shit when I saw that. Like, how the fuck can he manage to be that retarded?
And I knew it too, because I was like, I know for sure Spider-Man's been in some, like, questionable poses in comics.
Because I'm not a big fan of Marvel, but I fucking love the shit out of Spider-Man and Deadpool. When I saw that, I'm like, you're retarded! He makes so many similar poses. Ah!
Yeah, so when's that Shazam movie coming out? Oh, apparently
I need it.
Apparently
please.
2019.
I told you, fucking.
Who's this actor? This guy doesn't look like Shazam though.
Wait, what? I haven't like. Hold on a second.
This actor they have here, I hope this isn't the guy. He looks like he reminds me of Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory.
Instead of Shazam, Bazinga.
Oh man.
Oh god. Okay, choosing that another. Oh well, I mean, yeah. I mean, cause there's like two iteration looks of Shazam. As like the superhero Shazam. You got him like looking like Superman, and then there's some where he looks like a 25-year-old. And so if they're going for that version, the 25 version year-old, they did that spot on. That actor looks actually good for the role. Like
his face though, like he needs a stronger jaw to look like Captain Marvel.
Yeah, cause hold on, cause There's a few animated movies that like was like the Justice League movies and all.